Welcome to Going for Two. The gold medal is ours. I'm Ian Nickel, Parker Terrell. Parker, how's it feel to be an Olympic champion, Olympic gold medalist?
Tell you what, feels great. And if you watched last episode, you know that Coach Herb is proud. But I do have a special message from Coach Herb, and it's he's on to France 2030. Um, he's ready. He's getting ready for that. He's starting to watch film for 2030, and he's happy for the boys. But we're on to the Alps is what he's. That's my message.
All right. Well, shoot. I guess that's that for Herb. But unbelievable game. Um, I'm still a little shocked about just the resiliency of Connor. I don't even know how you say his last name. That dude's a dog.
Hellebuck.
Hellebuck?
Yeah.
Hellebuck had a Hellebuck performance. I'll tell you that. Holy cow! I can't believe he only allowed one goal. They were peppering him all night, or I guess all morning.
I'm gonna say that if you were doing a Mount Rushmore of Olympic performances, that is on the short list. Might be recency bias. There's been many, 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 many incredible Olympic performances, but simply, if he does not give what he gave, we do not win that game. I mean, if instead of the 100% we got of him, we got 99.999, we do not win that game. The stick save on Devon Tays will forever be an Olympic image. I mean, he's getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest award a civilian can earn.
It's well deserved.
I'm not just talking about Winter Olympics either. I'm talking about Olympics. It should be on the short list, and it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Against, I mean, we talked about it last week. The Canadians are an all-star team, like truly. But it just didn't matter at the end of the day when you've got an American squad that came out raring to go. That first period, Matt Boldy gets that absolute dime of a goal against, Canada's best back line, Tays and Makar. The US had a better goalie, they had better defense, and they honestly had a better, more well-composed team. They were able to weather the storm of the Canadian onslaught, especially in the third period. And Jack Hughes ends up being the hero after getting high sticked and losing his teeth. I mean, what more can you ask for? It's the
Well,
best hockey game that these eyes may ever see.
I agree with that. Right now, it's the best game that these eyes have seen as well. Um, the second period, he just got peppered and peppered, and it felt like it was going to break a little bit. But I think the broadcast said something about, like they didn't get down on themselves after giving up that goal. They just went right back to it, and I going to 3-on-3 in that situation, it made them feel good, which is weird because I know the broadcast was saying, and that hockey broadcast was unbelievable.
Let
What
me
Kenny
talk. Yeah,
Albert,
Kenny Albert.
Eddie O, and Brian Boucher, fantastic, fantastic group.
And then
Um,
Tariq. We'll talk
yeah,
about that too. Quick
Tarico,
thing on
yeah.
the second period. Quick thing on the second period. That is when we had to withstand the 5-on-3. So
Oh man, yeah.
I don't want to hear any of the Canadian people complaining about 3-on-3 in overtime when you had a 5-on-3 for a minute and a half and couldn't capitalize. Canada's power play are arguably the five best players in the world between McDavid, McKinnon, McCarr, and then they alternate Celebrini in there. They alternate um, Brad Marchand, and they alternate Tays, and sometimes Tom Wilson. I don't want to hear it. I just don't. Canada had every opportunity to win that hockey game. And again, even on the 3-on-3, that is literally the three best players in the world: McKinnon, McCarr, and McDavid, the three M's. So if you're Team Canada, you get down early, you're clawing from behind, you make a mess of your power play in the second period. And the third period, yes, you get unlucky. That there were some unlucky bounces in there, and Halibut is just standing on his head the entire time. The McAvoy at the net save was huge in the third period that really gave the US momentum going into that final part. People forget too that Canada had another power play with 2 minutes left in the third period. They had every chance in the world with the best team that's maybe ever been assembled outside of the 1980 USSR, and they didn't get the job done. And they should feel that way, truly. If I was a Canadian fan, I would feel like we blew it. That's not to say that the Americans weren't good, because they are. But on paper, Canada should have won that game.
Yeah, if they were doing like boxing scorecards and it was just those 3 rounds, it would be 2-1 Canada. But that's not how the game is played. And you mentioned that power play for Canada. That was originally a power play for the US. And Jack Hughes
From the high stick.
high stick somebody, and then it was 4-on-4, and then the power play. And that was just as equally as huge as the 5-on-3 thing. I mean, Hellebuyck played like his hair was on fire. I'm so impressed with that performance. And just every play was just like, holy smokes. And then Jack
McDavid
Hughes.
too had a one-on-one with Halibut in the first period, and um, kept the puck at his feet the whole entire time, and ends up crashing right into him. That's another. I mean, in the NHL, McDavid, that's a goal 9 times out of 10. One-on-one with the goalie. We can talk about the McKinnon wide open net miss. Of course, that's going to haunt Canada forever, because I mean, it couldn't be more wide open.
Well, it haunts them like it haunts the U.S. in 2010. There's no doubt about it. It'll haunt them like they did the Four Nations, which I hope that comes back. I don't know what the structure is there. I know they're considering bringing back the World Cup of Hockey, but just an incredible game, and I think we said this off air that we're now hockey guys. We're now officially hockey guys. And I just put on NHL on TNT. I was watching a little wrestling earlier. Now I got the hockey on. We're becoming hockey people. Gotta get ready for the
Well,
Stanley
now
Cup
we're hockey
playoffs.
country. Now our country is hockey country. We're the
Mm-hmm.
best hockey country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's up to us to do our part to become hockey guys. And we'll talk about that more in the extra point, where I choose my NHL team based on an incredible PowerPoint Ian has prepared. But you couldn't have asked for a better Olympics. You couldn't have asked for a better hockey tournament. Something that we were both really excited for, and it lived up to all the hype and more. Congrats to the women for getting gold. Congrats to the men for getting gold. And congrats to the United States as a whole for the Winter Olympics performance. I believe I read that it's the most individual gold medals ever by the US at a Winter Olympics, which is huge. And the teams did great as well. So Milan Cortina was a huge success, and I will never forget where I was at when Jack Hughes scored that winning goal.
I mean, that was just absolutely insane. And wait, were you able to watch it or no? You went into church and like 2 minutes
Yeah,
afterward,
like
Jack
I,
Hughes
I
scored.
mean, I didn't get to see it live, but after I got out, I'm getting bombarded with messages and immediately go onto my phone. I'm telling everybody at church, nobody cared. Nobody cared at all. But I didn't care that nobody cared. I wore an outfit that was like USA themed. And I'm just I'm in between stuff at church. I'm seeing all the videos about them bringing Johnny Gaudreau's daughters out there onto the ice, them holding up Johnny's jersey. That's something that we haven't talked about. A lot of people have talked about that, so there's not really much else to say, but Johnny Gaudreau would have been on this team. He had a lot of friends that are on this USA squad, and you can just tell that they did it for him. And if you don't get emotional seeing his little girls out there on the ice the day of, or excuse me, it's yeah, they're both girls, right? Even though one's named Johnny Jr.
Oh, I thought Johnny Jr. was a guy. I didn't.
I think people kept saying the girls.
Oh, I thought that meant like his wife too. Hold on.
She didn't go out there on the ice.
I know. Uh, hold on one sec.
Anyway,
We're
to
still
see
learning, guys.
to see them out there and to see just the Goudreau family, which they weren't even supposed to be there.
Hmm.
They had said no, but then decided to go. It's just special, and it's just an all-time sports moment. It's not just an all-time Olympics moment. It's not an all-time hockey moment. It's an all-time sports moment that's up there with the 1980 Miracle. And of course, it happened on the same day, on the anniversary of it.
Yeah. Just for quick clarification, Johnny has three kids. Um, they had a son born on April 1st of 2025 after he passed.
Okay, so but I think they brought out his girls.
They
They
brought
were
out they brought out daughter and his son Johnny Jr.
Oh, they did. Okay, so yeah, daughter
So
and
he
son.
has one daughter and two sons.
Okay.
At his I guess at the funeral, she announced that she was pregnant again.
Oh yeah, that's right.
September 9th.
Brutal.
Jeez
Brutal.
Louise.
But it's it's as good as it gets,
Yeah.
truly. And that's all I really have to say about hockey. We're hockey guys through and through. Excited to get an NHL team to start getting
Absolutely.
behind and rooting for. And Canada, we own you for 4 years.
You love to hear it. You love to hear it. So our
I don't want to
boy,
talk about all the controversy stuff. We're not smart
yeah, no,
enough
we
to
don't
talk
want to
about
talk
all
about it.
that.
We are
I do
just
think
I am
that
happy for
people
the
are
team.
being way too soft, but we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get into that. That's not what we're here for. We're about talking the sport and the sport itself. Like that's so let's talk some college hoops. Kansas is the most confusing team of all time. And I think maybe they're just really good on Mondays, which is great for the national championship. But every other
At
time,
home, unless
they're in
they
big
play
trouble.
Cincinnati. Well, that wasn't on Cincinnati wasn't on a Monday. But
Yeah, they're great on
I texted
Mondays.
you, let me look at my exact text to you about Kansas. I said to you, Kansas is so hard to read. They're obviously super good. DP, Darren Peterson, is just an amazing player that moonlights for essentially half the game. He doesn't fit.
Yeah, I know there's been people saying that Kansas may be better without Darren Peterson and that sort of thing. I, man, that team is really hard to read. But you know what team isn't hard to read? Um, Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona's really good. Houston has lost two in a row.
Arizona's still missing a key player, also Koa Pete.
That's right. They're just really good to me. I know Duke won, but I
Good. They don't have a lot of super strong guard play,
yeah.
but Boozer inside is just such a force. if you remember, in 2015 when Duke won Coach K's last championship when they beat Wisconsin, who had beat the undefeated Kentucky team.
Mm-hmm.
This Duke team reminds me a little bit of that team because you've got a dominant post presence with Boozer, like they had with Jahlil Okafor, and they've got guys with potential like Evans to have like a Justice Winslow type 3-and-D wing make a run in the tournament, and all they need is just one of their guards to get hot. And they have the potential. They haven't necessarily showed it all season, but this Duke team certainly has the potential. It all depends on your draw and all that kind of stuff. But Boozer is such a dominating force that they're going to be in every game.
No, absolutely. I mean that's how you kind of feel about Peterson in a way. It's just like because he's on the floor, you can never rule him out. And it's kind of the same thing with BYU, even though they lost Richie Saunders. Again, like those three guys are really stinking good. And Duke's gonna Duke. So I'm not gonna
And you can't look. I watched Caleb Wilson play. Caleb Wilson is really, really good. And if he can come back for Carolina and be healthy, they could make a run in the tournament because they have excellent guards. And I mean, he has a bag. Like I feel like he could be the underrated guy, dare I say, a J-Dub type player in the draft because he had an injury, but he's just savvy, super athletic, has an incredible shooting stroke. I love Caleb Wilson, and I was texting you during the Duke UNC game that said, "Are we not sure that Caleb Wilson belongs in this top four discussion with these other three guys?" And it's unfortunate that he got hurt in the way that he did, and I they are expecting him to return, so hopefully he can be back for the tournament.
and by the time we come back next week, it'll be March. So we'll be right there in the mix of it. I'm fired up for that. And then UConn defeated St. John's by 32 tonight. So
Yeah,
is
UConn is really, really good.
UConn is there still. Like they're not going
Florida is
anywhere.
good.
I still like
Florida's
St.
good.
John's, but that was a bad game by them. I know Rick Pitino's going to be throwing hands.
Yeah, this St. John's team is good, but not as good as last year's team.
Mhm.
But you never know. Rick Pitino is a great coach in March.
Yeah.
You know
No, I mean,
who's sneaky a really good team is Illinois.
yeah. I
I like
feel
Illinois.
I don't know, it
They're not
depends
as
on
good
the
as
night, I feel
Michigan.
like.
They're not as good as Michigan, but Michigan is kind of a hard team to read too, in that they have a lot of big wins. They've they play really, really tough defense. I just don't know if they have the outside shooting necessarily to really make you think, oh, okay, this is like a surefire bet in March. But you could say that about a lot of teams.
Well,
If
I
I
mean,
had to pick,
Arizona, I think they,
I might pick UConn today.
man,
They're really
that's a big statement win from them. Arizona doesn't shoot threes. Like that's been their big thing all year. So I feel like that outside shooting thing doesn't necessarily matter as much. Of course, there's some teams that live by the three and die by the three, but let me look up the Arizona game real quick against Houston. They're like the only team in the
tell you
last
who shoots
25
threes.
years.
Well, Kansas. They always have a guy that's just draining threes. It was Drew White in that game the other night.
Let me see something real quick.
Isn't his name Badunga, the guy inside for Kansas? Yeah, that's his name.
Arizona went 3 for 12 from threes.
Yeah, they're not a big three-point shooting team.
Yeah.
Arizona, what makes them good is they have a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
They've got two freshmen that are really solid, and Tommy Lloyd is a really good coach. But we haven't seen them really get over the hump in March, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing is that they haven't been over that hump, but look, I
Who
mean, early in the
has the
season, they proved that
hottest
they can.
guard?
Do I?
That we have to look at that every year. There is no rhyme or reason to March. There's not. People have been trying to figure that out for years. Bettors have been trying to figure that out for years. But one indicator is who has the hottest backcourt. Right now, I'll tell you, Carolina's backcourt is super hot. Like they're having to pick up the slack from Wilson being out. That's somebody to watch. Arizona has a really like interesting backcourt with a guy that's been there a long time and a freshman that's uber talented. UConn has a solid backcourt. Kansas has a really solid backcourt. These are the things that I'm looking for as we go into March.
Yeah, no, it's about the guard play. It's all about the guards, and that's what you need in March. And man, there's a great slate this weekend. Um, let's see, Arkansas, Florida, 7:30.
Speaking of good
Do
guards, Darius Cuff,
a cuff, man.
lottery pick. Lottery
I
pick.
did we talk about? I know they lost. But he had 49 points against Alabama. I
Yeah,
think
he's a
we
dog.
did, but just absolute dog. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to-
Arkansas, fun team.
very fun team. You hope you see them in the second weekend of March, but they do feel like a team that could get upset in the first round as well. It's because the Calipari stench, if you want to call it a stench. Arizona Kansas rematch in the desert. That's gonna be really freaking good.
We will see if Darren Peterson plays a lot of that
Yes,
game.
we will. Do
I'm
not
seeing
get a flu game.
Virginia Duke.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Virginia Duke. Virginia doing kind of quietly really good. I think they only have 3 losses on the year. Villanova St. John's. St. John's has a chance of redemption on Saturday.
Bama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Florida.
Gonzaga St. Mary.
Yeah, the rivalry game. That's a
Legendary.
great slate. That's a great slate of games.
It's a good slate. We're heating up last day of February and we enter March. Cue that music.
We're gonna keep talking about this, and we'll save it a little bit more for after the season when we get into like NBA draft talk for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I am firmly convinced that Debansa should be the number 1 pick. He's such a no-brainer. We watched him play in person and dominate.
Now, do you think that's why you feel that way about him? Is because you saw him in person and you hadn't seen the others in person?
That's a good point. I just think even like it could be one of those drafts where both of them are incredible. You know?
Oh yeah, I think
All
any
three.
of those guys will be really good.
I think Debansa, he's instantly going to impact an NBA game.
I
Like put him in an NBA game tomorrow and he'll score, I think.
I feel like he's gonna get drafted by the Jazz somehow. You know, with a
Yeah.
little hometown cooking, even though he's from Boston.
Look, Darren Peterson is a stud. We've talked about this on this podcast. All this stuff is weird. I don't care what they say in the media. They're literally just doing PR. Like Kansas's athletic department is doing PR for him, but it's too weird of a situation to not be something. And I just feel like NBA teams are just going to be like, they're just going to have a lot of questions. But
Yeah,
Darren
no,
Peterson,
definitely.
Bill Self said that this is the best player we've ever recruited at Kansas. He said that when he was just a friend, like he was just coming out of high school. He hadn't played a single second for Kansas yet. And Bill Self said this is the best player we've ever recruited. So that's saying something.
Oh, definitely. I feel like we're not giving Iowa State their credit. They beat Houston the other night. They did lose to BYU, but I think
Houston's not doing great.
do what?
Houston is tough sledding right now for Houston.
It's tough sledding, but all 3 of their losses are against top 15 teams, so they're not horrible losses, but I think it does make like kind of push them out of the national championship contender bubble and maybe more of a, the Sweet 16 team.
Yeah, but then I just think about I am such a victim of Houston. I always picked them to make the Final Four. They never do it.
They did it
And
last year.
I feel like last year was the year I didn't pick them.
I
I
picked
had
the
picked them years before. And I this year I can just see them. I mean, those two guards that they have can get hot quick. So I wouldn't count out Houston, especially not a Kelvin Sampson coach team. He knows their problems,
Mhm.
and they just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn against Kansas the other night. I mean, they were missing everything. And credit to
Houston's
Kansas,
never been really known for their shooting anyway, so I don't.
true.
So
Kansas couldn't miss
yeah,
that night. That's going to happen in the fog every once in a while. And
get
I mean,
foggy and
they
fog.
didn't even need Darren Peterson in that game. They didn't even need him. That's the thing where it just feels like he just doesn't necessarily fit.
Yeah, no, I think I sent you a photo from the Cincinnati game. All four of them are huddled up. Peterson's at
Yeah,
like
that was when
half
he was
court.
checking in, which,
Yeah, but that ran like wildfire.
of course it did. That was in the height of all of it.
Absolutely.
You know, we'll see Saturday. If he plays most of the game against Arizona and has a good game, then I think that will go a long ways. If he checks it
Absolutely.
out, if he gets sick 10 minutes before,
You could
tough.
get sick in the desert. Like, there's
Soft
only
tissue
one way to get
are
sick
tough.
in the
Soft
desert.
tissue injuries are tough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just so many people on both sides. Like there's been people come out that have said like, yeah, this is weird. And there's people that have been like, no, I coached him in high school. He's all he cares about is basketball, all that kind of stuff.
And he
So,
had a weird press conference the other day where he's like, I'm a loner or
yeah, I mean,
something.
the Kawhi comparisons, they're
Yeah.
there. They're
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kawhi Leonard is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So, you can win championships with a guy like Kawhi Leonard. It's just, are you willing to deal with the frustrations?
Yeah. I think for most teams, the answer would be yes.
Of
And
course. You think Toronto wants to give that championship back? They had
no
him for one.
chance.
They had him for one season, and they
Mm-hmm.
won. Now, that was a weird finals. Kevin Durant gets hurt. Klay Thompson gets
Cleveland
hurt.
gets hurt. Well, I still think
But
they would have won.
yeah, that was a good Raptors team. Siakam, Marc Gasol, Kawhi, Van Vliet. It was a good team.
Siakam. Did you say Siakam?
Yeah, Siakam.
Okay,
Spicy
sorry.
Pete.
Who else was on that team?
Siakam, Marc Gasol, Van Vliet, Kawhi.
Yeah, solid team. So I was looking at the NBA standings today, and I did not realize that I think the Western Conference has gotten weaker. Do you want me to go through the
Side note, look at our boys, the Thunder.
yeah down?
Five.
They're currently down by 5 against the Pistons. No
Best team in
SGA,
the East.
no
Best team.
J Dub, like none of it. But
Shout
do you
out
know who?
Jay Will with 25 tonight.
Holy
Casey
smokes!
Wallace,
Aren't
21.
Case Casey B. Wallison, man, like he is so good. And that's one of those things where I hope
What
Luke Dort doesn't go away. But if Luke Dort like leaves for another team,
Jared
you got
McCain.
Case and Wallace.
Jared McCain has 18.
There's your
Best
Zesty King right there. Can we say that?
Presti Presti just went out and got like a starter on
Yeah.
90% of NBA teams. And he's
Yeah.
like our not 11th best guy.
No. He's not our 11th best. He's got to be higher.
Is he better than any of the starters? That's five. Is
Well,
he
no,
better
he's
than
not.
Wall?
No.
Better than
But do you,
Caruso?
offensively, I think, yeah. But does the defense outweigh
Better
the.
than Wiggins? Better than Isaiah Joe, who's absolutely tearing it
He's been
up.
tearing it up since.
He has not had a great game tonight, but still.
But
We're
yeah.
at 10. We're at number 10.
Yeah. I might put him ahead of Joe.
I
Oh,
love the Thunder team so much.
gosh, yeah. This team is
Let's get
so
our
good.
guys back.
I
Once we
may
get
put
our
him ahead
guys
of
back,
Wiggins. I don't know. I love Wiggins. McCain may be bad. I don't. I got to see it more.
Kane is so good.
He is. He is.
And we got him for a bag of chips.
Yeah. Okay. So this is one I want to play this game with you.
Okay.
I don't know if you're looking at the NBA rosters at all or standings. Don't.
Okay, I'm
Unless you
not.
already pulled them up. Did you pull
No,
them up already?
I no.
Okay. Could you tell me the top or the 7 through 10 in the East in the Western Conference? 7 through 10.
Lakers.
No. They're sixth.
Okay. So we've got in the top six, we've got Thunder, Spurs, Timberwolves, Rockets, um, Lakers, and no, Clippers might be in 7 through 10.
They're 10th.
Yep.
The Nuggets are the fourth seed, by the way.
Nuggets. Okay, so that's the
Yep.
top six. So we've
Those are the
got
top six. Yeah.
10th. What about the Kings?
Dude, the Canes are in last place. They lost like 16 in a row
Kings
until
suck.
recently.
I don't care about
Devastating.
these bad teams. Light the beam.
Like the
Um,
beam.
Suns.
Suns are seventh.
Okay.
Need 8 and 9.
Grizzlies are bad, right? They're really bad. They traded Jaren Jackson. They're bad.
They are 11th. 5.5 games
Jazz are
back of the
bad.
Clippers, mind you.
Jazz are bad.
Jazz are in 13th.
What about the Blazers?
Blazers are ninth.
Okay.
It's the 8
And
seed.
so we need one more.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors.
Yes. So there's your play-in is Trailblazers, Clippers, Warriors, and Suns. And I'm going to tell you the East: Magic, Heat, Hawks, Hornets. It
Please.
feels like to me, it feels like the conferences have maybe evened out just a little bit. And maybe that's with, injuries.
There's some injury stuff, with the Warriors, but
Yeah. Still, I feel like they wouldn't be, they're currently 4.5 games back. I don't know if those injuries make up 4.5 games.
Jimmy Butler?
35-year-old Jimmy Butler.
True. I think, yes, it has evened out a little bit, although the best team in the East are the Pistons,
Mm-hmm.
and the Thunder are neck and neck with them right now, and we don't even have our three starters.
Hardenstein didn't play either. So only
got
one of our starters is
we're down to
actually.
Jacob, Shea, Hart, and Chet.
Yeah, Chet didn't play today, or nor did Caruso.
Yeah. So
I'm saying is
I
like the
still think the
conferences
West is
themselves,
better.
not necessarily like
I think Denver could win the East.
yeah. Well, no, that I mean that's disrespectful to the Pistons. The Pistons are a really good team, and the Celtics somehow I don't know how they're doing it, but they restructured that team and they're in second place right now,
Yeah,
4.5 games.
there's all these rumors that Tatum might come back.
That's dangerous.
I mean, how does he fit into a team though that's already
Yeah.
rolling? Um,
Well, I mean, is it like the Ewing theory, you think, where they're just playing better without Tatum? Or is it like
Jaylen Brown, I mean,
he
is
might be I feel like this may have been mentioned a couple of times. He did win finals MVP over Tatum. It feels like maybe Tatum or Brown should be the one and Jalen should be the two, or Jason should be the two.
yeah, I think that he's firmly out of the Robin to Tatum's Batman conversation. I think that he's just as good. He
Yeah.
could
Well,
lead. I mean, he's obviously doing it right now. He's leading an NBA team.
yeah. And I don't even think it's like a Batman. It's a weird halfway between like a Batman and a Robin and a Robin. So it's like maybe like two Ant-Mans
Yeah.
or like Ant-Man and oh like Star-Lord.
I like that.
Or they're two guys that are pretty even leveling, I think.
hmm I mean, Peyton Pritchard just has stepped up so much this year.
Mm. Derek White too. Derek White has been really good. Or wait, is Derek?
They
No,
make a
Derek White's
trade.
with the
They
Celtics.
make a trade for Vucevic at the deadline.
I love that trade. I also just like Vucevic. He'll just randomly have like double double, or he'll have like a double double for like four straight games and just be like
Yeah.
filling up the stat sheet. But the stats are empty. Is the other part.
I think the only team that scares me in the East is, I guess, Detroit. I mean, I don't, maybe the Knicks.
Knicks would be a good series, but I don't know if I'm necessarily scared of them. I think
I'm not,
Hardenstein could bully Towns.
I'm not scared of any of these guys, man. Like, the only team I'm scared of the Spurs and I'm scared of the Nuggets.
Yeah, but the thing with the Spurs is that I think that they're going to run into the same issues that the 2024 Thunder did with a lack of playoff experience. I think that may come back to bite them. It may not right away, but I could see maybe in the second round where they're taking on, oh, well, the 3-6 matchup would be the Rockets and the Lakers. Maybe not,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like if the Nuggets were to get to the 3 seed, then I'd probably go with the Nuggets.
For sure. I think Jokic against Wimby in a playoff series.
Ooh. Ooh.
Jokic might put Wimby in a blender. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Or the opposite. I feel like they just don't play. Jokic doesn't play defense, and
He's
does
just a
he?
body out there.
He's the body out there.
Big body.
It'd be an interesting matchup. I want to see that.
The
I also
my
want to see
worry
the
for the
Thunder
Thunder.
get healthy
My
before that
only
Nuggets
worry
game.
for the Thunder is that our guys haven't played a lot of games together. Like we're gonna need to start getting some Team Kim a little bit leading into this. But I'm also gonna be really sad if Shea doesn't hit the 65 game threshold.
He has about 9 games left.
I think it was 9 before today, so now it's 8.
That's 8. I think it said he was on pace for 67.
I really hope that happens because he deserves the MVP.
Yeah. Cade getting the MVP would be fun. Although
That would be cool, although it would feel a little bit winner
I've
by
heard
default.
people say they'd be like a participation trophy. I have heard that.
Well, it's just unfortunate that all these guys have been injured so much, you know. But that just goes back to the conversation that we had about the NBA regular season is way too long.
It's been my whatever. It's been 82 games for years, and it hasn't been a problem. I think maybe what you do with the MVP thing is maybe you make it 60 games instead of 65. I feel like that's fair. You're only missing 22 games.
Look, 82 games has worked in the past. That was also, if you remember, they used to be the first round of the playoffs used to only be 5 game series for a long time.
Yeah,
And then it became 7. And so that just kind of adds on some miles. I if they can do it, they can do it, but it's obviously they're all these guys are getting hurt all the time. And this isn't even an Olympics year,
yeah,
which I know it's only every 4 years, but it's they got to figure something out. And the in-season tournament is not the answer. It's just not.
I agree. I'm not moved by it at all. Like that doesn't do anything for me. Um, do you, I think maybe like if they were to go down, I think maybe 72 would be a good mark.
Great. That would be great.
And you start November instead of October because they keep on pushing. They keep on like going in toward the football season, and they're not going to win any people that way. I think you got to start kind of in November. Heck, maybe I love the idea of them starting on Christmas, but I feel like that's too. I feel like that'd be too soon or too late.
I mean,
But
that's pretty late.
alternatively, they could just go into July.
Yeah. I think that could shake things up for sure.
Yeah,
For the better. Because I mean nothing else is going on except for baseball into July.
yeah.
So that's
It
coming
messed
up.
with free agency a little bit,
Baseball,
but that
baby.
doesn't matter.
Baseball, baby. Although
Baseball.
I have beef with baseball because of how, I mean, it's just like the Dodgers invitational now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Well,
best team ever, one of the best teams ever, literally went out and added 2 All-Stars.
yeah. Diaz and Tucker.
It sucks.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what you got to do simply add a salary floor and then I guess a salary cap, either way. But
The
I
players
think how you get all
they'll
30
lock
teams
out
involved.
forever.
Do what?
They'll lock out forever if they try to put a cap on it.
Yeah. Well,
If think of it as this way. If you were in your job
mhm.
and you could get paid unlimited money and you had an attorney that would fight on your behalf, why would you ever give ground on that? You may not even be one of the people that's ever going to even get close to making the amount of money that you could. But if literally, if you had a chance at unlimited money, they are going to fight tooth and nail to keep that. They're just never going to give it up. Would it be better for the sport? Yes. Yes, it would. But they'll fight it forever and they'll lock out forever.
So that then I think you have to add a salary floor. So that way these other teams have to spend money to compete. And, these smaller market teams like Cincinnati, Kansas City, Sacramento can actually spend some friggin' money. And, where you're not looking at those like 70 win teams that have been meddling for 10
San
years.
Diego. San Diego.
San Diego.
Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento A's.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, no, no. San Diego, they spend money.
They do. I would still say they're small market though. I mean, I know they spend money, but
They're small market, but they at least still spend money to be competitive.
true.
Small market and like not competitive.
Yeah, like the Rockies are never going to be good.
The
I mean, what
Rockies, the Marlins, somehow. Like it feels
Pirates?
like Miami should be good at baseball. There's no, I feel like there's no reason why they shouldn't be. They're in Miami.
They have a great stadium.
Yeah, decent stadium. Uh, I kind of miss the fish statue thing.
Rich
Um,
history. Florida Marlins have a rich history.
yeah, and they've only been around since '97. And like it's a cultural hub. A lot of Latin Americans down there. I mean, I am fully surprised that they haven't become like a baseball powerhouse.
Yeah, and we'll save our baseball talks towards closer to the season, but that's starting. The weather has turned warm here in Oklahoma, and so
For
uh,
now.
I'm starting to think about baseball for sure.
Yeah,
But
fire me up. Oh,
anything
spring training
else?
started? No,
Anything else before
I
we
think
go
we're
to
good.
extra point?
Yeah, make sure you check out the extra point that comes out well most of the time every Friday.
Next week we'll talk about the bubble
Yes.
and really start ramping up the tournament.
Yeah.
I fully expect us to do an entire episode, and we may. I'm just now telling you this a little bit behind the scenes inside baseball, but I fully expect us to do a full episode about the bracket when it comes
Oh,
out.
no doubt. No doubt.
That'll be probably recorded on a Sunday.
Yeah,
Um,
Sunday or a Monday.
yeah, and so that will be coming up. We'll have conference tournament breakdowns. We'll have everything.
Love those. Yes, fire me up.
We this podcast will cover March Madness in its entirety, and we are excited to do it.
Oh, yes, we will. Yes, we
The
will.
beauty of being week to week. It's the beauty of being week to week.
Oh, absolutely.
Be there for all of it.
Yes. Heck, I mean, I might try to do a few live streams. I think that'd be great to do some live streams
Happy to
um
happy
for
to be
March
involved.
Madness. And
Happy to
I mean, we'll
pop
talk
in
about that
or be
at
involved.
a later time, but yeah, I think that'd be great. And now this is the end of this episode. Subscribe, follow the social medias, Ian Nickel on all the platforms. Parker, plug your stuff.
Parker-Terrell-2 on X.com, Parker Troy 20 on Instagram. USA, USA, USA.
USA. All right. We're gonna find Parker a NHL team. I made a PowerPoint. Check that out on the extra point that comes out Friday. This podcast comes out Thursdays, unless we post about it, like we did the other week. And yeah, that's it. Bye, everybody.
See y'all.